Okay, we will go ahead and get started. We may have a few other people joining us, but it's 2 o'clock, and since this is Tuesdays at 2, we like to start at 2. So welcome everybody to SCORE Southwest Missouri's Tuesdays at 2 webinar series. Our webinar today is Attracting and Retaining Young Talent. We have Jonathan Bell, who's CEO of Bell's Marketing Consultant. Before I introduce Jonathan, I want to talk a little bit about SCORE. So let's hop in there and do that. Oh, by the way, my name is Katie Pattison. I am the workshop chair for SCORE Southwest Missouri, and I am also a librarian. So this workshop is presented in partnership with the Springfield Greene County Library. The library offers business resources that might be useful to you, including marketing and consumer research databases. We have a great one called Reference Solutions. We have a new one called Demographics Now, which you can do some amazing demographics research in. Those are all free to use with your library card. We offer meeting and co-working spaces. We have a maker space with a vinyl cutter, laser engraver, heat press, podcasting equipment, all kinds of cool stuff. And of course, the library offers books, audiobooks, newspapers, and magazines. We have those in both print and digital format. And we frequently work with SCORE to offer workshops and events for businesses and entrepreneurs. You can see all of those resources at thelibrary.org/business. Let's jump into SCORE. So if you're not familiar with SCORE, SCORE is a nationwide nonprofit that is there for you for the life of your business. SCORE offers mentoring and resources to support you from business idea to exit. There are 3 things we like to talk about when you're remembering what SCORE can do for your business. SCORE provides free business advice and mentoring. You can request a SCORE mentor at score.org. And we have mentors all across the country and a lot of great mentors in our area with a lot of different specialties. So whatever it is that you are needing to work on with your business, our mentors can help you with that. We also offer low or no cost business training, just like this webinar that you're in right now. And there are some really great business templates and resources on the SCORE website if you haven't checked that out. It's score.org. If you're making a business plan or a marketing plan, you're going to find lots of great tools on that site to help you out. These are a couple of workshops we have upcoming here from Southwest Missouri SCORE. We have podcasting for small business that's coming up on the 16th of this month. It's 6 p.m. at the Schweitzer Brentwood Library, or if you prefer to attend virtually, you can do that as well. And then our next one is microlending, accessing capital when the bank says no. Mary Overby from Borealis Consulting is heading that one up, but we just got word that we're going to have a bunch of other micro lending companies there as well. So if you are in the market for funding, that's going to be a great workshop to come to and learn more. That's on August 23rd. It's a Tuesdays at 2, and so it is virtual. And if you are not familiar with our very favorite thing we do here in Southwest Missouri, the SCORE E3 Women's Conference. E3 stands for Educating and Empowering Entrepreneurs. Our 2022 4th Annual Women's Conference is coming up on September 13th and 14th, and Jonathan is actually one of our speakers. So if you enjoy this program today, you'll definitely want to come to the Women's Conference and hear him and a bunch of other great speakers. It's just $119 for 2 days. We have some amazing keynote speakers, lots of great topics, lots of great exhibitors, food. I'm always there for the food. And you can register for that at e3score.org. Everything that SCORE does is possible through the effort of our volunteers nationwide. We have over 10,000 volunteers serving clients in over 1,500 communities. It's a great way, volunteering with SCORE is a great way to get connected with our local entrepreneurship community and have some really great experiences. So if you're interested in making a difference in our business community, you can volunteer with SCORE. You can reach out to me in the chat, or you can go to swmissouri.score.org. And sign or do an application. You can see that info here again, score.org/volunteer or swmissouri.score.org if you're interested in any of those things. Now it's time to introduce our presenter. So Jonathan Bell is an African-American teen entrepreneur located in Springfield, Missouri. Jonathan started his business, Bell's Marketing Consultant LLC, in 2020 at the age of 16 after being rejected from 17 fast food jobs. This sounds like more fun than fast food jobs anyway, Jonathan. So hooray. Bell's Marketing helps small businesses leverage their online marketing efforts to increase visibility. So welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Alrighty. So, one, I would like to say thank you so much again for inviting me. And I am really excited to be talking about this topic because I posted on LinkedIn a few weeks ago, or actually, it was maybe about 2 months ago, about me posting a Instagram poll, and no one listened. And I'm glad that I'm having the opportunity to give at least a small crowd a better understanding of what exactly I was talking about, because I really feel as if the Southwest Missouri region is struggling when it comes to keeping the Gen Z slash millennial workforce here. I have a big understanding that retention is a really big problem. So, from my point of view, as a young African American male here in Southwest Missouri, it is extremely vital that everyone really listens to exactly what I have to say and what others are speaking to me about as well. And especially if you do own a business or you're a part of some sort of community activism, I highly encourage you to speak with your peers as well, so we can make Springfield a better place for a little bit of everybody. So, company culture is one of the biggest things that I've noticed to keep the millennial and Gen Z workforce here. Actually, that's kind of everywhere. So, people in my generation want to feel like they matter within the company. They want to feel as if the company is better than theirs. For example, if I worked at a technology company in Los Angeles, and they give us free Starbucks every single Friday, I'm going to brag to my friends and say, you know what, I get Starbucks every Friday, you don't, haha, type deal. So that's a part of company culture, just establishing a really great workspace, offering really great benefits. And another big thing is also the ideology part. I know a lot of people here are extremely diverse when it comes to um, some sort of political statements or the political diversity here in the area, from conservatism all the way to the democratic and progressiveness as well. As you guys may know, the Gen Z community is extremely progressive. And some might argue that that might be the worst thing impossible. However, it really does keep them attracted to a specific place, like urban areas like the city of Chicago, cities of Los Angeles. Some even might argue Dallas, Houston, big metro areas like that. Another thing I would also point out would be the diversity and inclusion. Now, when I say diversity, I don't mean just ethnically, I mean culturally, socially, economically, those who might have some sort of disability, even. As the Gen Z community and millennial generation, we want to feel as if we matter in a workspace where everyone matters. We want to see each other, where I would like, for example, I would like to see a lot of successful African American males in this area thrive, just like I would like to see people my age that so happen to be Caucasian, Asian, Hispanic. I want to see my demographic and my current age become very successful within the future. So that's another thing to keep in mind regarding company culture and how to attract um, the Generation Z and the millennial as well to areas like this. Work-life balance is really important. That kind of ideals with company culture as well. We want to ensure that we're not overworking our workers, because if I can be honest with you guys, we're a different breed from what it was about 40, 50 years ago. I would say that we're not necessarily lazy. However, we found creative ways to become lazy, but yet be work hard or hard working at the same time, which is kind of odd now I'm sitting here thinking about it. I personally done some research regarding the work-life balance. 71% of the millennials are extremely dissatisfied with the company's management, which leads to a very high turnover rate. If your company management isn't doing their job in keeping the demographic that you're wanting, then there's going to be a serious issue in the long run, because networking is essentially your net worth. And those who are networking in my Gen Z community around the country and also all over the world will tell other people not to work for you. And that could be really bad, because you build a business, you build people, and people build that business. That's the model that I always go by. Another thing that can attract both those generations would be having the preferred tech. So for example, since I run a marketing consulting firm, it is extremely vital that I use proper project management tools, client CRMs, accounting software, that fun stuff, because personally, all we do is just sit around and scroll on social media 24/7. And we were essentially built off of technology to where we feel as if we can't survive off of it. So if your company doesn't have the proper technological needs, then your company really won't survive in attracting that young workforce talent. And I'm going to go ahead and turn over my whiteboard to how to retain them. So we have ways that we're able to retain them. Now, how do you keep them? That's the biggest issue. When people come to Springfield, Missouri, they might stay for 2 years and then they say, I don't like it, we're going to move somewhere else. So like I've mentioned earlier, I ran an Instagram poll. About 60 people on average kind of voted for each question. And I also took a survey as to where they can type in their responses as well. So I asked about 44 people, do you plan on staying here locally in Southwest region of Missouri? 20 people said yes, which is good, and 14 people said no. I asked them specifically who said yes. What will keep you here in Southwest Missouri? People said family. That's one thing. They feel like due to the inflation, they feel like due to the high cost of living, you can move somewhere else. However, it won't be as less expensive as it is here in the Southwest region of Missouri. Now I asked people, that was a majority reason why people said yes. Now here's the bad news. Majority of the people that did say yes will grow up and no longer, or will get older and will no longer stay here because of these reasons as well. They feel as if Southwest Missouri is lacking the resources of activities for the toddler generation or for the toddler demographic, for the teenage demographic, for the adult demographic. They feel as if that there's not more activities here that we can do on a daily basis. For example, personally, I love Branson, Missouri. I think it is extremely fun there because they have a strip full of activities. However, in Springfield, you can go to, what's that place? Incredible Pizza, and you can go to other places like that, but that's really it. At least that's what they feel like. So if there was more activities here to do, if there was more fun, I firmly believe that our demographic here would stay, or at least retain higher than what it all currently is. As I stated earlier as well, more progressiveness. Southwest Missouri is not known to be progressive at all. And I don't mean that in a joking matter. It's just how Southwest, the Bible state, was kind of brought up. And that really does affect people because they firmly believe that their political ideology really does matter wherever they live. And if it isn't what they believe in, then they will decide to move. That is a real thing. I used to be that way. Growth opportunities. In my opinion, there is a lot more growth opportunities here in Southwest Missouri that I could ever imagine, especially being from 2 years, from 16 up to 18 now. There's a lot of people that don't know that there's real resources in this area that can help benefit you if you did become an entrepreneur or if you were that person who wants to clock in and clock out of work. There's definitely a lot of opportunities to get on boards, to get on other community activism, to get in the system and help optimize the system to become better to help benefit them and their community as well. And I would also like to mention as well, how to keep them would be keeping up to date with modern technology. As you guys may know, companies are flocking California, the state of California, and moving to places like Texas. So when I say modern tech, I mean companies that have pretty great tech power to create more jobs, to be innovative. I've noticed ever since I came to the E-Factory, that's currently where I have my office space, that is based off of innovation. In my opinion, this is probably the only place that isn't as staggered as the rest of the Southwest Missouri. Typically, this place is mainly for you do your job, you come home and repeat. There's no sense of urgency with growth. There's no sense of urgency when it comes to help growing this community as a whole. So I really feel like if we all put our heads together and come up with something that could be really beneficial for everyone, that could be coming up with a better company, that could be coming up with a better foundation to build a community and let them know that these resources exist. I really feel as if that would help benefit. the Southwest Missouri region. So needless to say, to kind of go back over again how to retain them would be bringing more progressive ideology here, bringing more family friendly activities that they love to do, and staying up to date with modern technology and becoming as innovative as possible. I thank you guys so much for the opportunity to allow me to speak. That is the rest of what I have to say.
I'm not seeing any questions. So, okay. Well, Jonathan, thank you for your insight and that great information. I know we are a little short today, but Jonathan filled in for us at the last minute. So we really appreciate that. And again, Jonathan will be speaking at the SCORE E3 Women's Conference coming up on September 13th and 14th. Remind me what your topic is, Jonathan. I'm trying to remember.
How to market to Gen Z.
Yes, that's right. Your area of specialty marketing.
Justin, if you ever get a full-time job?
I think Justin might
Honestly,
be.
honestly, Justin, no, I've tried. Honestly, I have. This is my full-time job. Me wanting to continue to run a business, me wanting to do public speaking, me encouraging. It's mainly I'm encouraging my demographic to start their own venture instead of going to a four-year university and getting into a lot of debt. That's mainly my go-to when everyone tells me, well, how do you do this? Or why are you doing it? It's honestly because of that reason. I didn't really see that there was a layout or another way to become successful in the future besides going to college. But with the experience that I've had over the 2 years, I would never work for anyone. Just saw that we can comment now.
Oh yes, Stephanie and Justin. So Jonathan, when we first started, our chat was disabled.
Okay.
So people are introducing themselves now that I figured out how to enable the chat. So any other questions for Jonathan? Okay. Well, thank you again, Jonathan. We really appreciate your time today, and we'll see you at the Women's Conference.
Sounds
Thanks,
fun.
everybody.